Hello there, this is people. In this video, I'm gonna be presenting the new version of SWAPR, which is the plug-and-play hybrid version. And this is pretty much the culmination of a month of work, almost. It includes several improvements over the previous versions. It now works in multiplayer. It supports clients on the Kuznetsov and the Vincent, and also on several ships on both coalitions. And for those of you who still don't know what SWAPR is, this is a script that I created in order to replace any chosen clients by AI, or initially those were static replacements. They would be replaced by statics. But then as I kept developing the script, I realized that it was better to replace them by uncontrolled AI units, and that's what I ended up doing, right? So this current version automatically generates AI uncontrolled AI replacements for any number of clients that you choose. And it also handles spawning and removal as players enter and leave the slots. So as you can see, I've created this demonstration mission, and it has a little bit of everything. It has blue clients and red clients, some of them spawning on air bases. Some of them are spawning on FARPs, some of them are spawning on either the Kuznetsov or the Vincent, or in frigates or cruisers or destroyers. And then we have a couple of helicopters on the top, at the top of the Mount Elbrus here. All right, so imagine that this is your mission. This is a mission that you have or that you've downloaded, and you want to include SWAPR in order to automatically generate replacements and handle their spawning and removal. So the first thing that you need to do is check the unit names. You need to, for example, decide which clients you want replaced. And for any client that you want replaced, you simply focus on the pilot name of that client. And you need to use either a prefix or a suffix that's going to be common to all the clients in the mission. Actually, you can use several different suffixes and prefixes. This version of SWAPR allows you to use different suffixes and prefixes. It doesn't have to be only one, right? You can choose several. For instance, in this mission, I'm using at least 4 or 5 different suffixes. In this case, this client is using underscore client, and if we keep going, you can see that there are others. The others are using underscore plane, others are using underscore client, and then we have more stuff, different underscore hilo, other different underscore test, different suffixes, right? Underscore plane as well, somewhere there. Only 2 clients though, well, it doesn't matter. So that's what you do. You simply choose either a suffix or a prefix, and you use that. So once you have that, you need to pay attention to a few other things. For example, if you want to use SWAPR with FARP-based clients, like this, we have here 4 groups of helicopters, a single unit in each of those groups, and we need to spawn them from FARPs, right? So in order to avoid weird stuff happening, right, we set them to take off from ground in this case. All right, I mean, I guess that SWAPR would still work if you set them to take off from ramp and select a parking spot, or take off from parking hot. Maybe it would still work, but perhaps the helicopter would lose its bearing, or perhaps helicopters would start spawning on top of each other. I think that I solved this particular issue, but I'm not sure about it. So the safest thing that you can do is just set them to take off from ground. That's the best you can do. Take off from ground and then manually place them over the FARP. All right, so that's one thing to keep in mind with SWAPR. FARP-based clients need to be set to take off from ground. I've done this as well for the red FARP here, and also we have a couple more FARPs on mycop as well here. I've done it as well. But the difference here is that these are all members of the same group. Okay, this is another thing that I've included in this new version of SWAPR. Now it supports multiple client groups. In this group, we have four clients, right? They are all set to take off from ground, but these are different. Now don't hide them on map. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They are all on different spots because I've placed them manually. Okay, I placed them like this. Okay, so we just do this. All right, and then there's another thing to keep in mind, which concerns clients spawning from the Vinson. The Vinson is an old, as you know, is an old carrier, and it doesn't support all the ramp carrier ops that the Stennis does. So if you set clients like the Harrier or the Hornet or the Tomcat hasn't actually, I will say something about the Tomcat later, but it basically doesn't work well on the Vincent, so I wouldn't use it because it appears that it doesn't work well with the Vincent's catapult. Okay, so as I was saying, if you, for example, pick here we have a squadron of 3 carriers, and then we have a control Huey here. So if you set them to take off from ramp, they will not spawn because I don't know why the option is even available here, because the Vincent doesn't support it. You need to set them. Any clients that you want to be spawned from the Vincent need to be set to take off from runway. All right, that's the condition here. That's it. Also, yeah, try to make sure that they are all using different tail numbers, different call signs, and they are placed on different parking numbers. For example, 1 is on 1, unit 2, in this case, is on 3 because DCS automatically switches things around for some reason. And number 3 is on parking 2, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay, so just keep this in mind. If you're operating from the Vincent, set the clients on takeoff from runway. All right, so as a general rule, I recommend that you set any ship-based clients to take off from ramp. For instance, we have here a Huey based on the Moskva cruiser, and this guy is set to take off from ramp. I mean, it would still work if you set it to take off from parking hot or take off from runway, I guess. But since we want, in this case, the replacements, we want them to stay still and don't move, don't start their propeller, for instance. Just set them to take off from ramp, so things should be consistent that way. And just make sure that all the different clients that you have on carrier decks, they are using different tail numbers, different call signs, and they are using different parking spots. For instance, in this case, on the Kuznetsov, you can set clients to either take off from ramp or take off from runway as well. But again, choose take off from ramp. Yeah, sometimes this is gonna happen as well. Some clients will lose position. Number 3 is on 3. Okay. So yeah, set them to take off from ramp, because this way the replacements won't be, in this case, if they are helicopters, it's noticeable because they will be spinning their propeller. But if you set them to take off from ramp, they won't. So it's things will be kind of consistent that way. All right, so now that we have checked that all the clients are using a common prefix, in this case a common suffix, and we have also made sure that The far base clients are set to take off from ground, and the Vincent clients are set to take off from runway, and the rest is set up to take off from ramp on ships and other carriers like the Kuznetsov. Now it's time to set up the SWAPR itself. Alright, so we are in the script now, the SWAPR plug-and-play hybrid script. And as you can see, I've made some modifications on the SWAPR config section. And now we only have to set up a couple of things, which one of the first of them is the SWAPR prefix table or suffix table. As I mentioned, you need to choose specific prefixes or suffixes for all the clients that you want SWAPR to handle. And we include them here. And then there's a second option, which is the game mode. And this must be set to either single player, SP, or multiplayer, MP. And in case we set it to MP, to multiplayer, we will need an additional script, which is the server hook, which I will show you later. Okay, it's a very simple script. You only have to include the table, as you will see. All right, so let's configure SWAPR. And this, guys, this is the only thing we need to do. In this case, I have all my prefixes from the demo mission prepared here. I include all my prefixes here. In this case, we are using remember underscore carrier underscore client underscore hilo underscore plane underscore test. And the format that they must be included in, it must be in a string format. And string means anything between quotes, either double quotes or single quotes like this. Okay, this is a prefix or suffix, right? And then you separate them by commas, and that's it. It's as easy as that. Okay, so once you have the SWAPR prefixes table or suffix table set up, you just decide the game mode you want to run SWAPR in. If you're in a single player mission, again, this is a string value, so it must be surrounded by quotes. Either this single player, or we can also do this, right? Single player. That, well, actually, yeah, that would be valid as well. That should be valid. So yeah, if we want to run it in multiplayer, though, which is what we are going to do, we set it to MP multiplayer. Okay, and we simply save it, and that's it. SWAPR would be ready to go, and for this particular mission that we have, I want to show you the SWAPR server hook, which we will need here. If you set it to multiplayer, like we just did, server hook is required. So we need to set up this script as well, which is a simple script. It's a server hook, very simple, and you only need to include the prefixes or the suffixes here in this table, just like we've done here. The same. Actually, you can pretty much copy paste. You can copy this from here if you want and paste it. It's as easy as this. Either create a new table called SWAPR underscore prefixes like this, or simply copy paste, okay, from the other script. And that's it. That's it, guys. This would be all the information that we need to include in the scripts. And then, in order to set everything up, next step would be to as you can read here, this script must be placed in C users, your username, saved games, DCS, open beta in this case, because SWAPR runs on open beta here. Scripts, hooks. So we go there. We go to, I'm already there. You can see this is my DCS open beta folder, saved games. We go to scripts. We go to hooks. I've already loaded it. And you can see it's here. Okay, you just paste the file here, and as you can see, it's the same exact file. Well, not the same exact, because it's missing the table. And just paste the table here, right? Make sure that the name is the name of the table is also the mentioned here, the exact name in the for loop, which it is. So that means everything is ready. Client, carrier, hello, blah, blah. We save this, and the hook is ready to go, guys. So yeah, let's go back to the CS and load this stuff. Alright guys, I'm back in the CS, and now we're going to load all the required scripts so SWAPR can run. The first thing we need to do is to load a compatible version of moose.lua. In this case, the required file is already included in the RAR file that you'll download from GitLab. I will talk about that later, but basically the file is already included. You just need to load this Moose developed August 2019.lua, which is a developed version of moose.lua, which is compatible with SWAPR. And then after that, we create a once trigger. We call it, I don't know, call it whatever you want. In this case, I've called it SWAPR Hybrid. And here we load the script that we just saved. In this case, it's called SWAPR PNP Hybrid. That would be the correct file, okay? So we just make sure it's loaded. Hybrid. Okay. And that's it, guys. Remember, we set this in multiplayer, so the hook, the server hook is required. We just double check that the server hook, we go to the hooks folder. Remember, this is open beta. We go to scripts, we go to hooks, and SWAPR server hook must be there. We double check it. Okay, so yeah, the prefix table is included, and it's correct. It has the correct name. So everything should be ready to go in multiplayer. So we save the mission. Up to this point, what we've done is discuss multiplayer mode, which this kind of setup is only meant for servers. Okay, so if you want to run SWAPR on your server, just game mode to multiplayer, just everything that we've done, and then the server hook must be pasted here on saved games, open beta, scripts, hooks must be placed here. Okay, then your server would be ready to go with SWAPR, and all clients could connect and everything would run fine. But if you want to use SWAPR on a single player environment, that's also possible. You just need to come to the script and switch the game mode to SP. Okay, save the script and make sure that all the prefixes or suffixes are correct, and then just load this in your mission after you have loaded moose.lua, of course, because you remember this is a moose script. You need moose.lua first, and then you can run this script on single player here, and it should be ready to go. There's nothing else to be done here. Okay. And last but not least, I wanted to mention this new GitLab project that I've created for SWAPR. This is where I will be uploading all the future versions of SWAPR, as well as this one. So I will provide this link in the official thread on the Eagle Dynamics forums. And you just need to download this file, SWAPR PNP Hybrid 1.0 in this case. Just download it. Sorry, we just have it here. Yeah, extract it. And where is it? Here. Okay, nice. And as you can see, it contains all the required files. We have a compatible moose.lua here for the mission. We have the script, which is not set up. You must include all the prefixes or suffixes. Also, you must specify the game mode, either SP or MP. Okay. And we also have a server hook here, which again, you need to fill up the SWAPR prefixes table with all the required or specific suffixes or prefixes. Then I've also included the demo mission here, the one that I've just demonstrated. And this one is already set up in multiplayer. Okay, so you need to, it also includes the hook, the SWAPR server hook. You need to place that on the hooks folder, remember. Saved games, open beta, scripts, hooks. You need to place it here. And it also includes a README file here, where I explain how to install this. And a couple of photos so you know where the edits must be done. Okay, in this case, this is for the main script. We need to, as I said, modify the table, modify the game mode, and this is for the server hook. Just include the table, the prefixes or suffixes in the table. And that's pretty much it, guys. All you need is inside there. And remember, this is where you'll find it. It's the GitLab project, SWAPR _ public. And this is the file that you need to download. This is the link, okay? So, guys, I hope that you enjoy SWAPR and report any issues that you have on the forum thread, and I'll try to fix them as soon as possible. And I hope that you enjoy the script, guys, and see you around.